Hello again, everyone. Cliff Williams and my friend Chandra. This is not gospel.
So, what do you think about America's stance on things? And, are we in danger? Because I've seen Putin's, don't mess with what I'm doing over here speech.
In a perfect world scenario, in my opinion, if Zelensky really cared about the Ukraine the way he says, he would strike a deal where he can step down. He doesn't have to be killed or whatever else. He can step down. There's no battle, no war necessary, and a new regime can be elected in. If Putin sticks around and occupies the Ukraine at that point, then he is a liar. He's a big, fat, freaking liar. And all of the UN can be like, you lied. You said you weren't going to occupy him. You are occupying him. We're going to bomb the snot out of you. We're going to turn Moscow into rubble. You know what I'm saying?
That's not going to happen.
Right. That's not going to happen. They won't do that. Zelensky's fighting tooth and nail. Did you see the post where, Occupy Democrats had this tweet? It's so funny. They had this tweet in 2016, I think it was. I think I saved it on my phone. I got to show you. So it's Occupy Democrats. I'll put it on the thing too. So Occupy Democrats tweets in 2016. So it's right around the time that Trump is trying to get elected. In fact, I think it was in May of 2016. So it is a few months before November. No civilian needs an AR-15, regardless of whatever mental gymnastics you do. You are a very special breed of stupid. But on February 24th, 2022, this year, last week, Occupy Democrats. Breaking! Ukraine's interior minister announces that 10,000 automatic rifles have been handed out to the civilians of Kiev as they prepare to fight tooth and nail to defend their homes against Putin's invasion. Retweet if you stand with the brave Ukrainian people.
Man. It'd be funny if it wasn't so sad.
Yeah, they're not even aware of their own hypocrisy and ignorance. It's like, you're either for guns or you're not. And they're saying, oh, no. Well, the government is giving out guns to their civilians when they need it. So the government's choosing for you when you need a gun and when you don't.
That's just scary. Yeah.
But prior to that, you were saying a civilian never needs a gun. Anybody who thinks that is a special breed of stupid. Mm-hmm. So we need to hand untrained civilians 10,000 fully automatic guns versus the semi-automatic ARs that they want taken off the shelves in America. We got to hand them fully automatic guns. They've had no training whatsoever. It'll be fine. Nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to accidentally misfire a gun. It's going to be fine. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
But so they're wanting to fight tooth and they're not wanting to surrender at all, not wanting to give up. He's not doing what I think.
But what do you think is the potential American danger here? Is there any
Yeah. Here's the deal. Putin is powerful and dangerous. I'm not going to say he's just this evil big bad wolf. That's a load of crap. He's powerful and dangerous. Because he's powerful and dangerous, and I probably wouldn't even like the guy if I met him in reality. He's probably a jerk. And I've said that, I voted for Trump, but Trump can come off as a jerk sometimes. Yeah. So it's and he's powerful, and some people may think he's dangerous, depending on your ideology. But Putin is powerful and dangerous, and he comes from a different ideology, that the Russian ideology and what they got going on. It's still very much more, it feels like a dictatorship. A lot of those China, Russia, North Korea, they're very much like a small fraction of the people. The government controls everything for everybody. It feels that way. So that I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if he didn't get what he wanted, if some measures did not happen, if there wasn't any danger. I don't think we're in danger of him just dropping a nuke on us, because that's mutually assured destruction. But I mean, he just recently, was it today or yesterday, said that he's putting his nuclear weapons and his nuclear arsenal on high alert.
Yeah,
that's what he said. So it's I don't know if that's empty threats, but the main issue is Americans are in danger. The Americans, the 7,000 soldiers and the 12,000 soldiers that we send over there are in immediate danger no matter what.
Yep.
And in my opinion, I don't care what the propaganda is saying about it. We gotta stand with Ukraine. Gotta stand with Ukraine. In my opinion, leaving Afghanistan the way we did, and then going into the Ukraine, you can't leave Afghanistan the way we did and then just sign up more soldiers to go die in Ukraine.
Yeah, that was so wrong.
To me, that's completely hypocritical.
Yeah.
It's it's one of those Occupy Democrats tweets, you're not even aware of your own hypocrisy. It's like, how can you say, yes, we got to stand with Ukraine and we got to go in there and take care of these people, and not realize and not even think about, oh yeah, we sacrificed American lives to pull all our troops out of Afghanistan and left all of this military equipment there, like just in the dumbest way possible. I don't see how you can pull out of Afghanistan saying we never needed to be there to begin with. We need to get our troops out of there, and then turn right around and be like, yeah, let's go fight with the Ukrainians and fight for their freedom. Especially when it's still uncertain as to how democratic Ukraine really is. Yeah. You know, how corrupt that governmental system really is.
Well, okay, so we're just regular people sitting around here in Kentucky.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about being in Kentucky. I mean, even if they did, they're not going to choose Berea, Kentucky to drop a bomb on. And what do they got here? There's nothing here.
But
our little podcast.
But we don't have any insight, really, into what these political leaders are going to do and stuff like that.
Yep.
But let's just say Putin takes the Ukraine, and he's going to, within the next few years, possibly grab a couple more countries over there and say America does nothing about it.
Okay.
And I was watching Ben Shapiro talking about it, and he was like, if that happens, China is definitely going to be grabbing at some little places over there. So, like, they're already eyeballing Taiwan and stuff like that. Like, it seems like that we are on a series of events that has been pre-planned by certain political leaders, and it's all just unfolding right now. And I wonder how much of it is orchestrated.
I think it's massively orchestrated. And
yeah,
you know what the proof
I feel like these are just chess moves that we people are just watching happen.
You know what I think the proof is that it's
like
all
a reality television show.
You know, I believe this is the proof that it's all orchestrated. What have you heard about Canada since the Ukraine thing happened? Nothing. Exactly.
What is going? Oh, so I did want to know. Okay, so unfortunately, I have to get a lot of my news from TikTok. That's where I knew mostly what was going on with the truckers and stuff, was real people with their phones on the street showing what was going down. It's been a blackout. It's been a media blackout. You don't get those videos anymore. And I don't know what's going on anymore. And that's suspicious and awful and scary.
So Canada, in my opinion, Canada, Ukraine, and all that being linked, I think so. I think, again, this is where I'm going to sound like QAnon or whatever those guys say. I believe it's a part of a definite push to remove true democracy and get socialism, communism widespread.
Yeah.
Trudeau, in an old interview, Prime Minister of Canada, Trudeau, they asked him what country he admired the most. And he said, it's hard to disagree with what the dictatorship in China has really done. I mean, they've done some fantastic work and blah, 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 turning their country around. The first country he talks about admiring is communist China. So there's that.
Yeah, I've heard him say stuff about the education system and...
So here's what happened. I watched an entire 3-hour-long it was a podcast. It was just a YouTube dialogue between Jordan Peterson and one of the most popular Canadian reporters kind of guys, and he's a little bit on the conservative end. He's super famous in Canada, and I can't remember his name, Rex something. I can't remember his last name. But it was a fascinating conversation because it was unfolding. They're Canadians, so it was unfolding. They were giving stuff that I did not know about. For instance, Trudeau has shut down Parliament for 2.5 years.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
He shut down Parliament as a precaution. You've got bars and, well, not bars, but liquor stores and grocery stores. All of these are considered essential services, but Parliament was not deemed essential, so it was shut down whenever they started the lockdowns. And that's where the people are supposed to meet the government and make it work.
Yeah.
And he shut it down. So he's basically been a mini dictator of Canada for 2 years.
I didn't know Parliament was shut down, so that's how he's been getting all this stuff done.
And then, so he goes about his thing. He shuts everything down, closes down jobs and whatever else. And what's keeping the country going is our truckers driving your medical goods to the hospitals and driving your groceries to the store. Everything that you said is essential. The only reason they have what they have is because the truckers are doing it. And then on the very end of it, he makes it where you either get vaccinated or lose your truck, lose your job. And that's when the truckers were like, why are you penalizing us? We're doing our job. We've been doing this the entire time for 2 years of a lockdown. And now they're mandating everybody gets it, including the truckers. And that's when the truckers were like, okay, we're driving to Ottawa. We're just going to clog the entire road. And then when this happened, first thing when he found out that 70-mile long line of truckers was coming to Ottawa, he's like, oh, I got COVID, and he hid for a couple weeks. And thinking it would go away. Well, his quarantine's over. It was over, and they didn't go away. They stayed there. So then he hired the police to steal the gas out of their trucks. Told them to steal the gas out of their trucks. And I watched Canadians praying over the police. I watched videos of them praying over the police. It was like, help them to see that this fight is for freedom, and blah 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 blah. Then there was all these while this was a legal, peaceful protest, which it is.
Yeah.
It's not a crazy riot. And he has made it sound like they are a fringe group of white supremacists.
Yeah.
They even, I heard
they're supported by literally hundreds of thousands of Canadians.
I watched this one Congress chick or something from, I can't remember, I said chick, but woman from Canada, some representative who's on the far left side, and she was saying that honk honk is a known acronym now for Hail Hitler.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, folks, but you can't just make up what you want something to be. You know what I mean? Like, honk honk from now on, if you do honk honk, you're saying the N-word. You know, like, that's not, it's so stupid. But that's what she said. And so they're trying to paint it as white supremacist. I'm sorry, this is like a giant, I watched this whole thing, and I'm just like throwing it out because it was so interesting and scary, because that's our neighbor. It's our northern neighbor. So then he decided, while it was a peaceful protest, millions of dollars were generated for the trucker protest. Over 600 American truckers joined them in the protest. And so you have $9 million, something like that, on GoFundMe or one of those.
That was crazy.
He freezes the funds.
That was awful.
But then he enacted the Emergencies Act, which is basically a wartime act. This makes it even worse. When he did this, which nobody was in favor of. This is something else too. The people in Parliament shut down, so they can't vote on it. They weren't in favor of it. Everybody told them there's no need for the Emergencies Act. What is the emergency? You're creating the emergency by creating scarcity, because the truckers don't want to work because you're trying to force them to get, the shot. So he does the Emergencies Act. What this allows him to do is retroactively go after and press charges on and freeze the funds of anybody who donated money while it was a legal protest.
That's crazy.
He can retroactively, and has been retroactively going back and, you donated money to this while it was a legal protest? Okay, well,
let's freeze your bank account.
Freezing your bank account.
Yeah, that's scary.
That is totalitarian dictatorship. It's the people he fantasizes about being. He fantasizes about being a leader in China or whatever.
I definitely think it should be eye-opening to people in America who feel like, well, you're just helping people. It should be a mandatory shot and stuff because you're helping people. Nothing should be mandatory almost, because then it gives the government so much power that they're doing crap like this and freezing your bank accounts. They think it's never going to go that far, but this is what happens.
It literally, and here's the issue. The issue is Canada was getting way too much attention, way too much traction. It was getting people up in arms because that's close to home. That's your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's right up. That's right up there on the border. It's like, of course we're going to be concerned about what they, what their situation is. And so what happens? Ukraine. And now nobody's talking about Canada. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know how it's resolved. That's what I was going to say.
What is going on in Canada?
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's the controlled narrative. It's just like you said. It's been a media blackout. The moment Ukraine started. And the issue is everybody, all the independent content providers and everybody, no matter what your echo chamber is online, everybody is just, well, in order to get the views and in order to get the likes, in order to get the hype and people talking about it and to be a success myself, we got to talk about Ukraine. So nobody talks about Canada. So now it's a blackout. They can do whatever they want. I mean, cops could be dragging truckers out of their cars, old ladies, young guys, whatever. It doesn't matter who you are. They could be dragging them out of their trucks.
They literally might be right now.
And pounding them to death, and we wouldn't know about it because I'm not saying they are. I'm typically pro-police. But they could be doing this right now under the order of little, what do they call it? Trudeau Castro or whatever it is. They could be doing it under orders of him, and we wouldn't know about it. Nobody's covering it. When for months it was all you heard about. You know, it's so to me that stuff makes it feel like you're saying a big chess game that just kind of you're seeing the pieces play out in real time.
Yep.
But
so is this the end of the world? Like, I feel like
last time I asked you that, you're like, I don't want. I thought I was okay talking about it. No, I'm not okay talking about it. People are going to think I'm crazy.
I feel like as Christians, you're kind of always raised up. Oh, this is the end times.
Yeah.
And then if they're really happening, I don't know. I just know things are getting really scary right now, on a worldwide scale, not just in America. I think America's better off than most places, but I mean, majority of places. But things are getting creepy worldwide. We're heading towards a worldwide government. I mean,
there are things. So, scripturally, wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes and things in strange places, and all this, and there's a lot of things that could be interpreted as fulfilling end time scripture.
Yeah,
you got wars and rumors of wars going on right now with Ukraine, and the possibility of China getting involved, and Germany now is backing Ukraine. They're working with Ukraine. There's German soldiers, boots on the ground. And then at the same time, you hear all about these signs in the sky. There's supposed to be the signs in the sky. And then last year and the year prior, there was all this stuff about UFOs, and they're going to release everything about Area 51. And the CIA was going to release all this confidential information about what we really know about UFOs and all this stuff.
And they have been.
And they've been releasing it. Don't get any coverage on that hardly at all. Like, everybody's focused on wherever they want to funnel your attention, that's where it goes. And but all this stuff could be interpreted as scripture, you know, like the lack of the sanctity of marriage, and how, like, basically marriage is government controlled now. You know, government has complete control. In 10 years, next year, if the government wanted to make it okay for you to marry your Cocker Spaniel, you're not going to have much say in that. They're going to put it to a vote in Congress or whatever, and then it's going to be whatever they voted.
I don't have a Cocker Spaniel. Just make sure you know.
Right. So, well, what's your dog?
Mutt.
Mutt? I was just thinking the same. So if you wanted to marry your mutt, you know, in a year or two, you probably can, because
I don't like being used as an example right now.
Well,
I've noticed.
Why are you so sensitive? Why are you so sensitive about it? It shouldn't be that big a deal. You don't want to marry your dog.
I know this sounds crazy, but what was that country that they made a guy marry a goat because they found out he was having relations with it?
I'm 99% sure you just made that up.
No, Clifton. They caught him having, relations with a goat. And they made him marry the goat.
Who's they?
The people in this country.
Made up a stand? Fake a stand?
No. This is a real place.
You remember that country? Ago. Imagistan?
It was a Middle Eastern country. That is all I remember.
Why did they make you marry it?
Because he was relating with it.
It's like he's having therapy. The goat's on the couch with a notepad. Let's talk about your mom.
Don't put that in.
That's gotta go in. What was the name of that country where they made that guy marry that goat? Fakistan. Transakistan. I don't know.
What? Transact? What does that mean?
I was trying to say Chandrakistan, like Chandra, and I said Transakistan.
Makes no sense.
Well, my nose is stopped up, so I can't form syllables.
I've been trying to announce better because I realize I'm very country.
You mean pronounce?
What's the difference between...
How do you... You don't say, I have a pronouncement to make.
I meant like enunciation.
You have tried to announce better. Chandra's here.
I meant like enunciation.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I get why that was confusing now. I've been trying to enunciate better.
Yes.
Announce? I'm trying to announce. Somebody tells you something in secret. Woo! That sounds like a good announcement.
But I've been trying to pronounce better because I am country, you know.
That's
and I
hard
want
to
to
do.
be understood, but it's hard for me to focus.
Well, and
And to
I edit the
remind
videos.
myself.
You sound great. I'll tell you that much.
It's like my own handwriting. I always scribble down stuff for myself, and then later I can't read it back. I can't understand a thing I'm saying.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Not Gospel. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Let us know what you think, what you want us to talk about. Also, keep an eye out for some special projects going. Big Little Church is coming out. We're trying to provide you as much content as possible. If you're here on this channel because you like live music covers, or because you like the podcast and the socio-political stuff, or if you like the goofy comedy that we sometimes do, whatever reason you're here, we are grateful for your subs. We're grateful for your views and your time. And keep being you and keep being awesome, because that's how God made you.